Give me a moment. Okay, so cheers. Um, Thank you for those who follow me, and please do follow me for those who hasn't yet. Start following me, and while you're there, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's in the bio. Okay, let's see. Give me a moment. What do we have here? Legacy. So prosperity, right? Well-being is your legacy. It's something that you must naturally have. So when you were incarnated on this plane, it was already laid out for you to have all that. Now where are we getting this information? So you're going through some like conflict that is inner conflict and also outer conflict, right? So it's not just like there's a conflict within you. There's like also conflict without you, right? And so you're restless because of this conflict, and it looks like the aggression is triggered in you, right? So maybe you respond aggressively because of this conflict. Because you have to understand, if there's an inner conflict, right, it can be resolved when there's a mindful thought and you take time to psychoanalyze yourself, right? You just like hang out with yourself as a buddy, as a therapist to a patient, you, yourself, and I, right? You, me, myself, and I. And, but you need space for that. So it looks like the outer conflict is depriving you of the space to resolve the inner conflict inside of you. And that's where the restlessness comes in, right? You just irritate it. You see, that's what I mean by restlessness. And you might respond aggressively. Um, you do have powers because people around you, right? This is probably the conflict that's coming from outside, is trying to constantly disempower you. I can relate to that. Giving. What? Whoa. This is crazy. So, so what we have here is like your strength, right, is tested regarding the approach, right? Your sweet approach to things, right? And giving. Your strength is tested. Is it because you have to be quite careful and give with precision, right? Like know when to give, know who to give to, what to give to. You can't just be giving, right? So it's something looks like you've been giving a lot, and right now this the strength is tested inside of you to see if you can withstand um, a situation and remain in the space of not giving, right? Because this is new to you. So this is what we're learning right now. Two cards. Well, so there's like full blown war around you, right? It looks like you're in the middle of the battlefield, and they're just people are trying to claim the conquest, right? And you need to know that the universe itself, right? Universal forces, God, whatever you want to call it or believe it, are actually on your side because you're working on yourself, right? You're going with this karmic lesson that you're going through, right? Mind you, like when I say karmic lesson, every karmic lesson is not just a soul. There's no such a thing as just soul or just body or just mind. It's all one trinity, right? Mind, body, and soul. So when you're going through a karmic lesson, right, whether the karma that you had gathered while you were on this plane or the one that you came here with, whatever it is, right, it always encompasses psychology. So mind, you must scan your mind. It is important. So pick up a book on psychology, and that's easy to read, right? And then read about it. Listen to psychologists. Go to therapy. Get yourself a psychologist. It will help, right? It will help you with the progress. But it looks like you're doing just fine. Just don't give in, okay? It looks like you want to give in. Yeah, it looks like you. Every time someone shows support in your life, you carelessly, like basically carelessly, just push away old boundaries and just start giving again. So it's like your innate gratefulness is very hard for you to control. So it's hard for you to put your foot down. Right? I was talking to my dear friend today, right? She's a psychiatric nurse. That's something I need right now. So, and then she told me that intermittent reinforcement is a wrong way to go about reinforcing or establishing a certain kind of respect or demanding certain kind of behavior from someone. You can't just like do it and then if they do something else, you just let it go, because she said that if you let that something slide, then those people would think that, oh, if that is okay, then I'll add more to it. So I thought about it. I've never thought about it this way. And then I thought, so what should I do? Should I just put not just one foot, but both feet down? And she said, yes. So that's why I'm saying it's always important to speak to someone who is learned in this subject, right? So I can be your spiritual guide and I can spread the tarot, but it would be quite interesting to see what a professional would say about you giving too much and how you should restrain yourself, right? Next. So your magic, right? The magic that you have, this, you've got this like gift, like the power that you have, this of this magician, right? The power that you have, it actually lies in your compassion, right? This compassion that you feel for others gives you happiness, and compassion that you feel for yourself also gives you happiness. So you might you might come across as someone that's always happy. You might not be always happy, but you're so compassionate and so grateful for everything that you can get joy out of tiny little things, right? So where are we going with this? See, that causes the failure in the relationships that you have, right? It just collapses them. This, your state of mind, like almost like a Zen state of mind, like a constant gratefulness, constant compassion, constant forgiveness, constant giving, right? This is almost like saint-like approach to things collapses things, right? You've got to understand when, let's say, you are in an abusive relationship, right? Whatever it is, physical, mental, verbal, whatever. You're in some kind of unbalanced relationship. Now, what happens is, and then you are remaining to be kind and compassionate and giving and caring, right? And forgiving. That person that you're with is doomed to leave you first. You know why? Because your kind behavior actually illuminates, like sheds light on their bad behavior. So you actually outline their bad behavior by your good behavior, right? Think of the word kill with kindness. So that's what happens, and that's why they leave. Not because you're good, because they can't stand being around someone who's good all the time, because they start seeing how bad they are, and they don't want to face the fact that they're being an asshole, right? So don't waste your time being with someone who refuses to change, right? And refuses to see their mistakes, because it is useless. You will just waste your time, and this person will leave anyway. Dependency. So, what? Wait, give me some time. So, wait. Oh my God. You have to move away, either physically, right, yourself, or just mentally step back, right? Reclaim your throne, see who you are, see what you represent, and step away from someone's they got some kind of a vanity inside of them that they have not worked on, right? Or maybe they have some insecurities that they covered up with vanity. You see, so sometimes we do that. Sometimes when we don't see our issues clearly, right, our insecurities clearly, and we do not work on them, what we do is we come up with some kind of a Napoleon complex, whatever, like a mild one, and then we just like put it in front of us like as a veil, so that we're okay. We're okay, and there's nothing wrong with us. We're fine. This person is suffering from that, right? They're in conflict with themselves. You have to understand it's not anything against you. It is something that they cannot understand within themselves, right? And sometimes it is unconscious, right? And subconscious. I usually always say I don't like to divide those things. Subconscious and unconscious to me are like intertwined, right? They do feel that they have an issue, but they can't see it, or they won't see it, because it requires time and effort to resolve those issues, right? So it's like starting something new always throws you off, because you have this fear of breaking out of your shell to move forward into a new direction. You have this fear of maybe not, and then you sort of like the offense is the best defense. So you're like, no, I don't fucking need it. It is an awful thing, and then you just neglect it. This is how this person's acting. They're deceitful and tyrannical, actually, to themselves, not to you, not to you. This anger and rage is coming out of them regarding themselves. But obviously, like I said, this is subconscious and unconscious, and they do not take time to self-reflect. And if you don't take time to self-reflect, you're going to learn jack shit. And your relationships are going to fail over and over again, be it friendship, be it family, or partnership, whatever, or dog and cat. Misfortune regarding... So this person has something coming to them, right? So maybe this is a karmic lesson. So universe has its own way to push you against the wall, like face down against the wall. If you don't willingly learn your lesson, like if you don't go to school, you're going to get spanked to go there. So this is what universe is doing. So universe is going to go full-blown bad, misfortunate events for the failure to give, right, oneself to this lesson, right? They're not giving themselves. They're refusing to learn the lesson. And their strategy is like dishonesty and betrayal, right? But dishonesty also, you have to understand, is not just towards you, it's also towards them, right? They're not being honest with themselves, that they do have an issue that they need to work on. So their dishonesty and betrayal is how it is affecting. There's like hidden motivations, we got the point. And they make quick decisions to fix things, right? So maybe they, like I said, cover up bad action with like a good action, right? Not like resolve the bad action, but it just cover it up. It's like when you have a deep wound, right, in your leg, and you just, instead of like treating it, you go ahead and put a band-aid on it. This is what we're doing here, right? And the problem is like they're forced into solitude, because this action, these actions that they're taking right now are not working, and they're going to be sent into moderation, right? Like, so everything that they have right now is just going to be brought down level or two, so that they can start critical thinking. Right now they have everything, so they can't think.